Well, today makes 6 days of silence by President Trump on his claim that President Obama tapped his phones in the latter days of the campaign. Mr. Trump has not left the White House, and twice this week, events scheduled to include reporters were closed at the last minute. Well, today, the press did get into an event, and here's what happened when they asked about the wiretap allegation.
Thank you all very much, and we're going to get to work. Thank you.
No comment. Mr. Trump's staff has been working all week to explain why he has offered no proof for his allegation that Mr. Obama is a, quote, bad or sick guy, end quote, who committed a crime equal to Watergate. Now, let's bring John Dickerson into the conversation, our CBS News political director. We find him at Sea Island, Georgia, where he'll be interviewing the Speaker of the House for Face the Nation. John, today is the 50th day of Mr. Trump's presidency. How would you assess it so far?
Well, Donald Trump has done a lot of the things that a president can do with executive orders and executive actions, but he's now engaged in a new part of his presidency. We know that he's a marketer as a campaigner, marketing for himself, but now he's got to market a piece of legislation, one that he didn't entirely have a hand in building, the American Health Care Act. And this is an imperfect piece of legislation, and it's the kind of thing as a candidate he might have railed against, but now he's got to convince a lot of inexperienced lawmakers, some of whom are as inexperienced as he is, who've been in the minority, not in the majority, to rally around a piece of legislation and not just rally around Donald Trump.
Now, the president, of course, has said an awful lot of controversial things since his inauguration, but the allegation last weekend that President Obama wiretapped his phones had a different impact. Why is that?
Well, in previous times when Donald Trump has said incendiary things on Twitter, he's been fact-checked, there's been some outcry, but then the story kind of moves on. But with these tweets about President Obama wiretapping Trump Tower, he has embedded this claim now in a congressional inquiry. The House and Senate Intelligence Committees are now looking at this information. This is an incredibly incendiary charge, and the two committees will render a verdict on whether the charge has any merit or not, but they will also be rendering a verdict on presidential credibility. We will at some point know when these committees report whether Donald Trump took this very incendiary charge and put the full weight of the presidency behind it, based on actual evidence or based simply on a Saturday morning whim.
Much more to come. We'll be watching on Face the Nation on Sunday. John Dickerson, thank you.